Stanley Cup Finals are set and ready to go. There's really only one team that we all want to win. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pucked Up Podcast. This week, well, I'm always Chris, and this week I am joined by D and Maul. Yes, I realize I look crazy. I had sunburn. Yeah, just be glad you're not seeing.
Your boy's going through it.
Show us your forehead.
No, I'm good.
No.
Lift those beautiful locks. We want to see it all.
You want to see the square?
Yeah.
This is the worst burn on my body. My arms actually look a lot better now. Like, it's not too bad. I was out in Baltimore over the weekend, attending the Premier Lacrosse League, their event. If you actually want to go see it, I'll do a shameless plug. Go check out my YouTube channel, and it's over there. D, I do want you to watch it, or at least the Friday night one, so you can watch the WLL game. Watch that ending was nuts.
Yeah, I want to. As we talked about before, call work is a bitch. So I haven't had time.
Yeah, no, for real. But yeah, that was super fun. You guys, the
final countdown.
I know. This is the sad part of the season, because it's like it's almost done now.
The last
We're close.
game, if it goes to game 7, will be played on the 17th.
Yeah.
There's a world wherein it wraps up ahead of next week.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We could be recording our last episode of the season next week or in 2 weeks. Like, it could just be done.
Game 4 would be next Tuesday, and we record on Tuesdays, and it's 8 p.m. So it won't be over by the time recording is over.
Yeah.
But if we are in a Game 4 situation where the Canes are sweeping the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm pretty certain every single one of us will be like, you know what? We'll just record after the game. Let's watch the game together.
Wait.
And we'll record after.
Exactly. We will wait.
100% I will wait.
Well,
will I go to bed at 2 a.m.? Yes, I will.
Exactly. Well, more on that in a bit, but let's kick it off as we always do with a trivia question. Speaking on Stanley Cup Finals have seen sweeps, game 7s, and all manners. Can you tell me what year the last time there was a sweep in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Funny that I mentioned a sweep earlier. I think we're all just putting out good vibes, good juju into the air for a game.
Because we know over the last few years we've seen in 5 and 6 and 7, we've seen the gambit, but it feels like it's been a little bit since we've seen a sweep. Right? Like, at least in the last 3 years, I haven't seen a sweep. So
it definitely hasn't been within the last math.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit. So don't Google it. I can see you. I see you right there. I see you typing on your little keyboard. Stop it. Get some help. And we will talk about it. We will get your answers after the episode, or not after the episode, but at the end of the episode, rather.
The end of the episode.
But
so stick around.
Exactly, stick around. Also, while you're at it, like and subscribe. That sounds like a good idea. But to kick off the actual informational part of the podcast today, D, we got some coaching updates in the PWHL.
Do we ever? Yeah, we have a bunch of coaching updates in the PWHL. First of all, the Vancouver Golden Knights announced a change at head coach. Their general manager, Cara Gardner-Mori, released the following statement. As we conclude our inaugural season and evaluate the future direction of the organization, we have made the decision to make a change at the head coaching position. Brian Idelsky joined the Golden Knights prior to the team's first season in Vancouver, a role that offered unique challenges and opportunities. His leadership and experience helped establish the foundation of our organization during its inaugural year. We thank Brian for his professionalism and commitment to the Vancouver Golden Knights and wish him all the best moving forward. So with that, we think that maybe it's because they had 37 standing points, overall record of 9-3-4-14. And they have the first pick. because they finished in the gold plan.
Can I pose a question here? Because this is, in fact, their inaugural season.
Yeah.
Do we feel like this is a bit of a premature move? Like, you haven't even established the identity of your team yet, and you're already going to, like, you're not gonna win the Walter Cup right off the rip. Like, it doesn't just always happen like that. Does it feel
Not until a
bit...
certain player retires.
No, but doesn't it feel like a little bit premature to just fire your coach year one?
A little. I would also say that there might be some talent on the market that they're hoping to scoop up.
There are going to be, the free agent list looks pretty stacked this year. So,
well, I mean, in terms of coaches, like there might be some coaching talent that they're like, at the time they weren't willing to accept a PWHL position because the pay may or may not have been better at the collegiate level, and they weren't willing to abandon their families. And now situations they are a changing, and so they might be like, we have people that are going to be better long term for the organization than someone who is maybe, I'd say, towards the end of their career. But you can coach in the NHL until you're fucking a foot away from death's door. Apparently, these motherfuckers are old as shit. So, do I think it's premature? Yes. Is it as premature as some of the other NHL firings we see, where they're hired in September and fired in November? Not really.
Right. At least he got a full season, so it wasn't like it was 2 games and they sucked and he was, gone. Right. Yeah, they had a rough season. But listen, how often does a team in their first season win the whole thing? Like,
yeah,
it's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's rare. It really is. So, with that, we have another announcement coming out of Detroit. They have named their first ever head coach in Josh Seba. He has been named the team's head coach for the inaugural season, 2026-2027. He is a native of Westland, Michigan, and joins his hometown team after serving 2 seasons as an assistant coach for the PWHL's New York Sirens, and brings more than 15 years of coaching experience. Josh is a highly respected coach with a knowledge of the game and experience at all levels of women's hockey that set him apart, and his passion for teaching and individual character are qualities I value in a leader, said Menon Rayom, PWHL Detroit General Manager. Hockeytown is in his blood, and this is an opportunity I know he is eager to embrace with an understanding of what it means to represent this city and to be part of its legacy. So he also is an assistant coach for the 2026 U.S. Olympic women's hockey team that, spoiler alert, took home gold in Milan this past February. Whoop, whoop. USA on top. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Mal, did Canada win in the IHF finals, or did you lose?
They choked hard.
That's what I thought.
Don't understand.
Anyway,
but hey, they made it, unlike the U.S.
Fair.
He has held the same role with the national team since 2022, helping guide the program to 2 IIHF Women's World Championship gold medals in 2023 and 2025, as well as silver medals in 2022 and 2024. So shout out to Josh. Hopefully you do well in your inaugural year and don't end up like our buddy Brian. Lastly, we have one more announcement, and that is the head coach for PWHL Hamilton, and that has been announced as Chris Spar, spelled Sparre. So if it's pronounced differently, if it's Spare, if it's fancy,
never been a Chris I didn't like.
It's Chris with a K, so I don't know.
It's a bit weird, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
It makes me think of the Jenners, and I don't know how I feel about that.
That's fair.
That's a fair thing to say.
That's fair.
Anyway, he was a finalist for the 2026 PWHL Coach of the Year award. He joins Hamilton after spending the 2025-2020 season with the Boston Fleet. It's our first steal, baby. Boston lost a head coach. Hamilton gained one. And this is what I mean about maybe there's some more open spots on the market than we are privy to. And that's why they said bye-bye. So Megan Dugan, the PWHL Hamilton General Manager, said, "I'm thrilled to have Chris as the first head coach in PWHL Hamilton history, bringing a combination of hockey knowledge, leadership, and player development expertise that makes him an ideal fit. I wanted someone who aligns with my core values and can establish a culture and standard that players will want to be part of as we forge the foundation and shape the identity of PWHL Hamilton. I believe Chris is the right person to help lead this with a strong understanding of what it takes to build an environment where players can thrive individually while competing as a team. And can I just say, in our past two announcements between Detroit and Hamilton, there has been an incredible focus on maintaining a culture where individuals feel supported and are given opportunities to grow. And I love to see that. And I do wish that maybe the NHL would focus more on that because we seem to see a lack of personal ethics, maybe we'll call it, in the NHL for certain players.
Yeah.
There's been some big old headlines about that lately.
Yeah.
So just wanted to point out there that I appreciate that the PWHL has a focus on that.
They're taking an initiative to start off correctly as opposed to getting themselves to a toxic environment, to which we have on many episodes over the years of this podcast discussed.
Yeah, we have indeed. So there you go. Also, it is worth noting that he began his coaching career with the Niagara Ice Dogs of the Ontario Hockey League.
Ooh.
So, yes. And he is a native of Mississauga, Ontario.
Ooh, exciting. I also did see earlier that the Seattle Torrent have officially signed protection on Alex Carpenter, which makes a lot
That
of
must be
sense.
new news.
It popped up. I saw
I
it
think it's that.
on Instagram. I want to say a couple hours
And
ago.
Vancouver has re-signed and protected Sarah Nurse. As
The
of
players
just
that
now.
are not going to be a surprise are your stars. Like, I would
Yeah.
be shocked to see Marie Poulon go anywhere. I'd be
Mhm.
shocked to see, like just players of that caliber, right?
Yep.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
I was like, oh, all right, well, that makes a lot of
That
sense.
tracks.
Just like I would be shocked that if Minnesota's first player to protect isn't Taylor Heisey. Like,
Yeah. Right.
so yeah, I mean, we are now at that point where we're going to start seeing the protections, and then we are going to start seeing who's going to end up where, or this interesting
Yeah.
way to do an expansion, which I think works. And you, like I
I'm
said,
actually excited.
give them more draft picks.
Yeah.
Because
Give the players more autonomy to
yeah,
pick like, hey, this is where I want to land.
yeah, well, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Switching to the boys' side, which Maul did mention, or you guys both did mention the World Hockey World Championships. Big shout out to Finland for taking the W there. That's pretty fucking cool. So shout out to Finland for winning the Hockey World Championships. We love to see it.
Yes.
But it's always every once in a while. Well, yeah, no, it is every once in a while. We have to break some sad news. And I did it last time, so it's your turn, D.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chris.
I'm putting this on you. This is on you now.
I mean, I'm the one who wrote it anyway, so it is also on me in multiple
Dumbass.
ways. Yeah, I should have assigned it to anybody else. No, unfortunately, we do have a couple of sad announcements. The first of which being Dennis Hull, who passed away alongside his brother Bobby. Oh, sorry, who played alongside his brother
I was
Bobby.
like, Bobby, I don't think Bobby Hull
Jesus
died, did he?
Christ. No. Dennis, though, unfortunately passed away on Friday at age 81. He played 13 seasons with the Chicago Blackhawks and helped Canada win the 1972 Summit Series against the Soviet Union, which, hey, we're all happy any day we beat those bastards, huh? Hull, a forward who had 2 goals and 2 assists in the 8-game Summit Series held in 1972, which Canada won 4-3 with 1 tie. He had the goal in Game 6, an assist in Game 7, and an assist in Game 8 as they won the final 3 goals by 1 each to win the series. So arguably his goal is one of the ones that put it over the top. The Blackhawks did release a statement that said they are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Dennis Hull earlier this morning. Hull enjoyed a distinguished career built on his scoring ability and consistency, leaving lasting contributions not only to the Blackhawks franchise, but to the game itself. Known around the league for his immense skill, toughness, and intelligence, Dennis was a dominant on the ice as he was beloved off it. He often drew his sharp wit and sense of humor to keep the locker room loose, while his warmth and humility made everyone he met feel welcome. On behalf of the Wirtz family and the entire Blackhawks organization, we extend our heartfelt condolences to Dennis's family, friends, teammates, and the many fans who adored him. In 1964, Hull joined older brother Bobby, and they played 8 seasons together, and then he stayed in Chicago before playing 1 season with the Detroit Red Wings. He had 654 points in 959 regular season games. He had 67 points in 104 playoff games, missing the playoffs only once, and he appeared in 5 NHL All-Star games. While he played in 3 Stanley Cup finals, unfortunately, the Blackhawks lost to the Montreal Canadiens in 7 games, both in 65 and 71, and then again to the Canadiens in 6 games in 73. So he did not ever get to lift the beloved cup. Our heartfelt condolences to Dennis's family. 81 is a long life, though, and I hope that everybody has fond memories of the time that he did spend there with them.
His brother Bobby passed away in 2023 at the age of 84. So, hey, 80s is a great number.
Close. I mean, not everyone gets there, so.
No.
Which unfortunately brings us to our next announcement, which is even more sad in many ways. Claude Lemieux, unfortunately, died of suicide at age 60 on Thursday, according to authorities, after early in the week serving as the Montreal Canadiens torchbearer prior to a playoff game. He played in nearly 1,500 NHL games with 6 teams from 1983 to 2009 and was known for his hard-hitting style and ability to perform in big games on the way to winning the Stanley Cup 4 times. It was announced today, I believe, that his family has decided to give the CTE Center permission to publicly share any findings with Lemieux's name, as they have donated his brain to science to further study CTE and how it impacts individuals, which I just want to pause and say I think is a really, really noble cause. Too many players are affected by CTE, and we have too little research on it. And so the only way we're going to get to know more about it is if people like Claude give their brain to science at the end of their lives. So I'm very grateful that they did that. And I'm very, very grateful to the family that they have decided to publicly share findings in an effort to boost knowledge and understanding of the disease that so many people face because of improper protections from a very young age.
Right.
Claude dedicated his post-playing career to helping the next generation, the family said, referring to Lemieux becoming an agent. By allowing his name to be connected to this research, we hope his life can contribute to greater understanding, more honest conversations, and better protection for athletes and families in the years ahead. This was such tragic news to see Claude Lemieux's passing. I mean, it was all over social media. Countless people were putting out statements, sharing their memories of him. Teams that he played for all shared moments. They had moments of silence for him as well ahead of the game, the final playoff game in the conference finals. It just really is a tragic situation all around. And of course, suicide is not uncommon in male athletes because of a great number of reasons. If you or someone you know is being affected by suicide, please reach out for help. It is never too late to ask for help, and there is always someone who is willing to help you. You just have to simply ask, and that can seem like a really big hurdle, and oftentimes it is. But it's easier knowing that there are people standing on the other side along with you. So please, if you're being affected by suicidal thoughts or ideations, seek out help.
And the number to the suicide hotline is posted here on screen.
And it'll be in the description below as well, as always. Yeah, very shocking to see this. Very sad. Obviously, if it is CTE related, this is not the first time that we have seen a major athlete. Sorry, don't mind me. I've been sick for the past couple days randomly. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But yeah, it's very sad situation. Obviously, Claude touched a lot of people's lives. Goaltender for the Carolina Hurricanes, Frederick Anderson, was very emotional because he was a client of his when Claude was an agent. When he first started in the league. So Obviously you hate to see it, and our hearts go out to the family of and friends and everyone affected by this. And D said it the best. I don't really think there's much to add to that. Switching gears away from the sadness to some
Thank God.
kind of cool news that dropped into our laps a couple hours ago. We have the official look at the 2027 All-Star Weekend. And it's
Woo.
definitely different. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It will be taking place at UBS Arena, which is home of the New York Islanders. February 5th and 6th. The format will feature 5 teams: Canada, Finland, Sweden, United States, and a world team competing in a very familiar 3-on-3 round robin tournament that we're used to. Obviously, the world team will be made up of international players from countries outside of the major 4. Each team will play 4 5-minute games during the round robin portion, and there will not be an overtime period or a shootout in the event of a tie. There will be a point system: 2 for a win, 1 for a tie, and none for a loss, with the top 2 teams playing a 10-minute final to win a $2 million prize. Each team will be made up of 9 skaters and 2 goalies. The league and the Players Association will select 30 players from each participating teams for a fan vote, which will open in December. From that list, fans will select 8 players from each team, with the remaining 3, 1 forward, 1 defenseman, and 1 goalie, will be chosen by the NHL and the NHLPA. We will also have a return of the skills competition, which is exciting, with 10 players facing off in several of 6 events, which are the normal ones that we always see: fastest skater, hardest shot, passing challenge, one-timer, stick handling, accuracy shot, with a point system ranking. The top 4 players will advance to a shootout, facing one of 4 all-star goalies, with the top 2 performers from the shootout competing in the last event, the obstacle course finale. The player with the highest cumulative score will win $1 million.
Can I say something? It's not too late to fix it, NHL. It's really not. There's time. You can change some things. And the things, namely, being, what the fuck am I going to do with a 5-minute game? I understand that it's round robin style, and so each team plays 4 5-minute games, but 5 minutes of hockey gives you exactly nothing. It's a taste to wet your whistle and then just leaves you disappointed. You know, it's the one night stand of events. This is nothing. Like, they want to take the 4 nations and have it make a baby with the All-Star games, and I'm fine with that. But at the very least, give me a 10-minute game or 2 10-minute halves for 20-minute games. You have all this time in the world. The All-Star break is longer than a day. So it's not like you have to get this over in 25 fucking minutes.
Make it a weekend event.
The day. Like,
2-day event.
Take the time. If you're going to do it, if you're going to coalesce these people, in 5 minutes, you have 9 players. How the fuck are all 9 of them touching the ice in 5 minutes? They're going to be on the ice for a minute and 15 each.
They're going to get 1 shift.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
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 That is disappointing. You're not going to actually get to see these people establish any sort of like roles with each other or any sort of team identity, because they're going to be together for 5 fucking minutes, a total of 20 minutes the entire weekend, and it'll be interspersed because like US plays game 1, 3, 6, and 9. You know what I mean? Like, it's, again, I say to you, NHL, it's not too late to fix your mistakes. I think this is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
But God, you're just so stupid sometimes, you know?
Here's my question. What are we trying to do? The 4 Nations was awesome. And in my opinion,
4 Nations
that's
means
a
all
really,
stars.
really cool thing that you could do every few years.
Mm-hmm.
Every 4 years, I would say, as a teaser to the Olympics.
Well, like, just do a rotation. Do like Olympics, the
Or
the World Cup of Hockey, All-Star, and Four Nations. Just do a rotation of those 4.
But here's the thing. We have gotten so far away from an actual All-Star game.
Yes.
Like,
So here's the thing, though. I genuinely think they're terrified to do an All-Star game after the debacle of last year's NBA All-Star game, where players found that they could just, instead of show off skills, just essentially cheat their way through the event, get a better score, and essentially cheat their way to the money, the prize. You know what I mean?
but
I
that's
think
the
they're
NBA. This is nothing new
And
for
that's
the
a
NBA.
cultural
know.
problem too.
Yeah.
right, but I'm saying is they might be hesitant to do a full like they don't know what they want to be now. Like Four Nations was extremely successful while the NBA All-Star break was a joke, and it's like, do they want to risk something like that happening, or
Right.
like, you know?
But the reason why it's a joke is because there's no fucking hockey happening. As cool as a skills competition is, and it is cool, there's
Right.
only so much of that I'm going to watch. I'm not
Right.
going to watch 6 endless hours of skills competition.
No, absolutely
Right.
not. It's
You know what I
boring.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
people are going to pass on the fastest skater
Mhm.
because it's not that exciting.
Because
What
like
they want to see
three
is
already know
trick
who it
players
shots
are
and
is.
shit.
realistically going to win unless
Yeah.
McDavid decides this year, like he's done in previous years, that he doesn't want to do it,
To sit it
and
out.
then we
Right.
can
Yeah.
see somebody else win it. But it's like,
Right.
And the
this
actual
is not
fastest
just
people too are not even in it. Like Ethan Frank might actually be
Ethan
faster
Frank
than
could
McDavid, but
probably
he
win
doesn't
it.
actually get to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I my biggest thing is this is not my issue with the All-Star game hasn't been over the past couple years. The
Mm.
3-on-3 tournament thing that they did was cool. It was a cool idea the first year. But if I'm watching an All-Star game, I want to see a fucking All-Star game. I want to watch the best players from the Eastern Conference play the best players from the Western Conference, and
Absolutely.
I'm going in knowing that it's not going to be a Stanley Cup Finals or esque level of play game. It's a fuck around game that they're just gonna not hit each other, beat the shit out of each other. It's probably gonna be high scoring. That's what I expect from an All-Star game, right?
I want it to be
Why are
fun.
we
I want it
so
to be
far from
lighthearted and
that?
free.
Why are we
Yeah.
so far from that? Like this
Right.
is
And I don't
the concept of this is fine. It's kind of cool.
yeah, I don't mind the 5 nations situation.
Yeah, it's
Well,
kind of a
4
cool
nations and then a
concept.
conglomerate.
But at the same time, we saw so much success from the Four Nations? Is that just like, well, we're just gonna try to do this now, but we're gonna do something different? It's too gimmicky. This is a
Well,
very
and-
similar situation to what NASCAR has been dealing with, where they've added gimmick after gimmick after gimmick after gimmick, and now fans are like, fuck you, to where NASCAR had playoffs over the past like 10 years. They've gotten rid of that because of
Right.
it's just too much extra shit. We don't need all of this.
Well, and
Yeah.
again, they're trying to jam pack this all in one day, right?
It seems like it.
So the
I-
issue
I-
with that
yeah.
is if they do it in one day, they're going to have so many professional players in the building at the same time that tickets are going to be either not sold to the public or they are going to be poached and disgusting to get.
Yeah.
Scalpers are gonna fucking
I mean,
rip
look at
people
what
apart
scalpers
here.
are doing to friggin' FIFA right now and all the debacle with that the FBI had to get involved.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
whole
God, yeah.
other wild and crazy thing, you
and
know?
World Cup tickets are expensive in themselves.
Right.
But then
Unless you live
yeah.
in New York City, and shout out to Mayor Mandami, who's like, no. We
Not
want
on
our
my
working
watch,
class
bitches."
people being involved too. Like,
Yeah.
I respect.
Shout out Mandani.
I know, and he's a wrestling fan. Good guy. But like this is going to be an issue now. Where what's next year going to look like, right? What
Right.
crazy shit are we gonna do 1-on-1 next year? We gonna have a team
no,
for
'cause next
every
year's the World
nation?
Cup of Hockey.
Braveheart, NHL
No, 'cause
edition.
isn't next year the World Cup of Hockey?
Yeah, but I don't think that's
Oh,
going to
yeah,
take
that's
place
right.
during All-Star weekend.
I thought it was.
I thought it was going to.
Is it? But like,
Yeah.
why? These are awesome tournaments to have. And do you know when I think we should be having these types of tournaments? In the
During the summer?
summer.
Yeah.
What
Or-
hockey is happening in the summer? There isn't any.
in place of training camp, while your young rookies are cutting their teeth in preseason games, getting on the ice to get a feel for it. You have your all-stars doing something else.
Do you know who does something similar to that? Major League
Wrestling.
Baseball.
Mm.
Okay.
The World Baseball Classic happens either during or right before spring training. It's not
Yep.
every
Yeah.
year, it's every 4 years. But the MLB does that very similar.
Mhm.
Or have it happen right after the season is over. Or like this little in between spot. I think that's a good spot for these tournaments. But we've completely gone away. This is an all-star weekend. This is
Right.
a break in the action in February for us to do another in-season tournament, which again,
Mhm.
this is giving people a $2 million prize. Here's a better idea. Do you know what Major League Baseball does for their All-Star game? You know what the winning conference gets? Home field advantage to start the World Series.
Which is cool. That's awesome.
Why not do something similar to that?
Yeah, because it
You
benefits
win?
the team.
Yeah,
Right.
you win. Guess what? You get
There's
home field. You
stakes.
get home ice to start the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
We'll see more interesting play. They're not gonna
Yeah.
play their hearts out. Like they're not. It's not. But again, I guess hockey is a little different.
Which again, though, if they want to play their hearts out, it makes all the more sense why we put it in September.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, I'm fine with
Because
that.
then they have time to recover.
I think
if it gets a little out of hand, they miss the first leg of the season, and that's a sad thing for the team, but they can still be back for a cup run.
Yep.
I guess I'm a little confused on the fan vote. Is the fan vote to build the rosters?
Yes, like it's been the last couple of years. So like
Okay.
a
You
majority
get
of
the
them
extra
will be
player or
selected.
something to
Yeah. So 30 players total
yeah.
for a fan vote.
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
we're
sorry,
being
the
too cynical on
NHL and
this.
NHLPA will put forward 30 players from each
Yeah.
given team.
Right.
And then we select our 8 from that team.
Okay. I guess maybe we're being a little too cynical on this to start. I guess we'll have to find out what it looks like, but I don't understand why we
Not too cynical. They need to separate the skills and the competition so we can have actual competition. Nobody wants to watch 5 minutes of hockey and then you rotate it for an entirely different fucking team. Because I'm gonna be so honest, if I were the coach of fucking Finland, guess who I'm putting on the ice?
Right.
The same
yeah.
3 people the entire fucking time, and they're gonna have a 5-minute shift.
But here's the
Deal
other thing
with.
too. It's gonna
Again,
take
like I said, it's light
longer.
play.
It's gonna take longer to announce the fucking players than they're actually gonna be able to play.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Like, cool, you're gonna show up and see your favorite player for 5 friggin' minutes.
You see
Potentially.
them touch toe on the ice and the puck goes the other way and suddenly they're pulled. Like,
Right. And then how are
it
they gonna
doesn't
do
make sense.
warm-ups?
Right,
You know,
they're not.
what are they gonna do after the games? You know?
Yeah. It does
Yeah.
not make sense. The 5-minute format is stupid. Whoever came up with it should be fired.
This is dumb. Yeah.
This is dumb.
Let us know in the comments what you think. Please, we want you guys to sound off. Are we being too harsh on this? Or do you also think this is kind of ridiculous? Please let us know.
And if you agree with us, you can be on next week's episode.
Don't make promises we can't keep.
Don't make promises like
Don't
that.
make promises.
We will.
listen to them.
But how about this?
We'll feature the comment.
We will feature the top comment in next week's episode. That we can do.
Yes.
We can't just invite
That
people
we
onto the podcast.
Make yourself famous.
Yes, do that.
Okay.
Well, Maul, it is your turn to speak.
All right.
Wait, don't we have a playoff update?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, that's right.
You built the show sheet.
Yeah, so this week we're going to do something different. I want to include all 3 of the leagues because we talk about the NHL and the PWHL, but we don't give a lot of attention to the AHL or the ECHL. So this week we're going to give them special recognition because they're also in the playoffs. So starting with the ECHL, we had the Florida Everblades beat the Ever11 Piss out of the Wheeling Whalers in their last season as a franchise to knock them out, beating them 4-1 and winning the Eastern Conference Final. Over in the Western Conference Final for the ECHL, we have the Kansas City Mavericks versus the Fort Wayne Comets, and Kansas is leading 3-1 right now. So stay tuned. Check it out. Over in the AHL, in the Eastern Conference Final, we have the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins down 1 against the Toronto Marlies. Go
Yay.
Marlies. Um, on the Western Conference Final, we have the Colorado Eagles versus the Chicago Wolves in a tied series 1-1. I do find it interesting that both the AHL and the ECHL are very far behind the NHL in playoff games. So they will be playing happily till probably July.
Not only that, do you know who owns, or do you know what the affiliate is for the Chicago Wolves?
Tell you in 2 seconds.
I mean, I already know who
It's
it
not
is.
who you think it is.
It's
Okay.
not.
It's the
Carolina
I don't know.
Hurricanes.
Interesting.
Carolina's having a great year.
They are having a great year.
When they
So-
sweep the friggin' what's their fucking faces, it'll be an even better year.
Yeah. So speaking of that, the NHL, we have our Stanley Cup playoff matchup. It is the Carolina Hurricanes going to dominate the Vegas Golden Knights.
Boo.
Yeah. Which is funny because only we were right. We were all 50% right.
We were.
I don't know what the hell happened in the Western Conference.
Dude, we were so
just-
confident last week.
We were
Last
so
Wednesday, we were
confident.
so confident
Yep.
that the fucking Avs were going to take game 5 and they were
And
going to
you know
figure out a
what?
way to turn it around. And they got their
And-
shit pushed in.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
they did.
I mean, they lost game 1 4-2. They lost game 2 3-1. They lost game 3 5-3. They lost game 4 2-1. They did almost win game 4, but it was too little, too late.
Yeah. You know who
Yeah.
didn't almost win? Was the Montreal Canadiens, because they got fucking dog walked.
You know what,
in
though?
game
You
5.
have to give them some credit. They are the only team to beat Carolina. They ended a almost perfect playoff run.
That is true.
But
That is
Well, not only-
difficult to do because they played Ottawa, who had a great season,
yeah,
and Philadelphia, who also had a fantastic season, and they were the only
Oh.
team to rally one game. I mean,
wouldn't say Ottawa
yes,
and
they
Philly
took
had
it.
fantastic seasons, but
I mean, they made the playoffs. That's better than
a
16
lot
other
of
teams.
A lot
Yeah.
of teams, yeah.
But they did only win in overtime. So they had to force overtime to get it to win. And then they just got their shit pushed in. I mean, game 5 was 6-1. Game 4 was 4-0. Game 1 was 6-2. Like, it was, I don't know what the hell
It's-
happened to the Canadians.
Here's the problem with the Canadians, and again, I don't want Habs fans to come for me. Listen, I was pulling for the
I do.
Canadians. I would have been, of course, you too. I'm gonna get fucking death threats now. D, thanks. I think the difficult part here is, while Montreal is a great team, and they beat the team that I think was probably the overall best built in the Eastern Conference, in the Buffalo Sabres. They faced off against an unbelievably white hot fucking Carolina team. And I think the biggest issue with them has been they have struggled a bit on defense, and they have massively struggled in net. They've had inconsistencies at goaltending. And while that's not all on the goaltender, there's a lot of that bounces off from the defense being a little shoddy. But I feel like it's tough, right? You hit a fucking wall.
So, and here's the thing. I'm going to kind of tie this into the offside opinion, just because it works that I have back-to-back segments. So my offside opinion for you guys today is, I feel like we were wrong about John Tortorella. I genuinely feel like we all thought that it was bad for him to get hired by Vegas like 2 weeks going into the playoffs, but they made it to the Stanley Cup. I mean, yes, you look at his track record as a coach and who he is as a person and stuff like that, but I hate to say it, I personally think that Vegas made the right call picking him up because they're in the cup and they were a team that prior to him only played good and abused the point in overtime. Like they're only in the playoffs because they were good in overtime.
Um,
And not a lot of their games in the playoffs were won in overtime.
is it
So that's my
Tortorella
opinion.
or is it the fact that Vegas has a stacked roster? You know, like,
But here's the thing, they haven't played like this at all this season.
They've also been on the
Consistently.
injury list the entire
Consistently.
season.
most of the
There
team
is
has kind
nobody.
of been hurt.
Yeah, there's nobody on their injured list now. They are free of injuries.
Well, you think, and what was the big thing we talked about last week, right? Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner, while he had a good season, I think he struggled to find his plate. You're a motherfucker, Vol. You're a
You're welcome.
motherfucker, Vol.
But okay, but here's the thing with Mitch Marner though.
It seems he struggled to find that piece.
I can kind of see that, but he also played 80 something games. So you can't tell me in the last 12 games he found his rhythm.
He has. The stats show that he has found his rhythm. He has been a fucking dominant force in this playoffs.
While that could be in part due to coaching changes, it also could be in part due to circumstances, right? It is vastly different to play a game when everything is on the line versus a regular season game that is one of 82.
Which is true.
When you always have another chance to do more, to do better, to get just enough points to scrape in than it is to play when everything is out on the line.
And it wasn't like they scraped in. They won the Pacific Division. You know, granted yes,
the Pacific Division sucked ass.
It sucks, but they didn't just like barely scrape in. This is a team that won their division to get in to face off at a team that I thought might have been a little better than them in the long haul in Utah, and they beat Utah in 6. Anaheim posed a huge threat for them. They beat them in 6. Then they just took out the best team in the league in 4 games.
Right.
Like,
I do want to correct myself. They won 2 games in overtime of the 12 wins that they have.
Yeah.
So, but still, I feel like even though we were all like, dude, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, you're going to the playoffs and you're switching your coach. Like, that is a stupid idea. And while, I mean, Philadelphia got past the first round too. And Vegas has made it to the playoffs. So maybe there was something that we clearly didn't see.
I mean, there's a chance, but I also feel like it's a bit shit to bail on a guy who won you a fucking Stanley Cup a couple years ago.
No, absolutely.
Well,
and I wholeheartily agree with that. I'm just saying that, like, the offside opinion is more directed towards us being like, this is a shitty decision. Like, this probably is going to hurt you. And now they're playing for the finals, you know?
Yeah. It's one of those things where, yeah, we were pretty strong about our opinion that, like, the chances of that hurting you are great. And that has not come to bear fruit as of yet. Like, they're playing fine. Yeah. We still have a finals game to get through versus a team that has been brutalizing other people for sure. That is the Canes style. They play it hard and heavy. So there's still an opportunity for this to not work out well for the team. What I will say is that Tort's style is high pressure at all times. He is very quote unquote old school in his methodology. And sometimes that kind of pressure can create a diamond. However, lab grown diamonds break faster than naturally made diamonds. True. So we still have an entire 4 to 7 games of hockey left to go. And will we see the wheels fall off? Who's to say? I know what I'm hoping for and what I'm paying an Etsy witch for. And that's really all I can say on that.
Now, Danhausen, please talk to us.
Right. Yeah. So I did go back and look at it. In the 12 wins that Carolina has, 5 of them were wins in overtime. So more than double what the Knights have.
I
So-
don't know if that means as much when you're looking at the caliber of competition.
Right.
Because again, when we talk about the division that the Golden Knights came from, other than Carolina or other than Colorado, their competition has been all of the same caliber in the Pacific Division, which is to say, low
been
baby
shit.
low.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
been shit.
Right.
And now they're about to go up in the best of the Eastern Conference, who notably, other than Colorado, who, I mean, clearly they won the President's Cup,
Yeah.
but they have been like,
A brick house, yeah.
yeah.
No one's been able to. They've been untouchable. But the thing with Colorado, right? And we talked about this earlier in the season. We saw this
Yes.
already once this season. After the All-Star break, they
started
not the
losing.
All-Star break. It was after the Christmas break.
Christmas. Yep.
They fell apart for a little while.
Yep. They
It's
struggled
almost
in
like
January.
yeah, it's almost like they lost their identity completely, right?
Absolutely.
We haven't seen that from Carolina.
Right.
Carolina has been
gone up.
consistently, yes, they have consistently gone up. And what was the biggest thing we talked about in the offseason? Who are they without a megastar like Martin Necas? Because obviously that trade didn't work out for them with Mikko Rantanen. They ended up having to get rid of Mikko. Who enters? Logan Stankoven, who is right now the fucking I mean, you obviously you have guys like Svechnikov. They have stars. It's not like they don't. But Logan Stankoven, who hasn't always been the number one guy in the teams that he's played for. Like, he was never Dallas's number one. Obviously, Jason Robertson's that fucking franchise's guy.
Yeah.
But this is a chance for Stankoven to do what he's really done. And he has opened it up for himself to look like an absolute stud in the postseason.
This is what I tell people.
Better than he's ever played in net.
This is what I tell people all the time when it comes to the lacrosse coaching I do. When parents complain because they're like, my kid should have been on the A team. They're an A-level player. And we assign them to the B team. I'm like, listen, sometimes your kid needs to be the big fish in a small pond. Yeah. And that's what Logan Stankoven came in and did. And most other teams, he's on the Oilers. He's small fish in comparison to Draisaitl and McDavid, right?
Yeah.
But in the Canes, when they're down, when they've just traded off Rantanen, they don't have Necas anymore. Big fish, small pond. And sometimes that hunger creates an unbreakable force. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So while yes, they made a change that very clearly has worked out up until now, I also don't think that Bruce Cassidy couldn't have gotten them there.
Right.
And their treatment of Bruce Cassidy in the meantime has made me be like, it doesn't matter if it worked out well for you to do that, you're a fucking bitch. And I'm gonna hate you for
because
it. Regardless,
now they're
you know what I mean? I got smoked.
Yeah, they're blocking him from fucking talking to other teams. Which is that's a whole other thing.
Which
yeah,
that's been the whole conversation.
But
I just want to
get smoke on them from all sides. So I'm biased. Is what I'm saying.
I guess my point about bringing up the 2 overtime wins versus the 5 overtime wins is that creates an opportunity that all it takes is one bad shift change to lose that game.
Correct. Yeah.
So
we saw that.
It can come down to the wire if Carolina doesn't tighten up and stop that. They're creating opportunities to lose games by not pushing hard all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not
again,
wrong.
Statistically, Vegas is the better team in overtime.
But you have to get to overtime first.
Correct.
Yes.
But I'm saying is if they allow it to happen and create an opportunity or a scenario where it does happen, they have a high probability of losing.
Correct.
Because it's only going to come down to, and that's how all games where it's sudden death overtime, they always come down to one shift change, one bad shift change or a penalty, and the game is gone.
In this run, how many games has Carolina lost in OT?
None.
Of the
0.
3 that they've lost. How many games has Vegas lost in OT? Of the
0.
of the
Vegas
4 that they've
Vegas
lost.
has lost a game in overtime.
Did they? Hold on, which one?
I'm
the
pretty sure
Ducks,
Anaheim
right?
beat them in overtime in a game.
So it's overtime losses that's really the bigger marker as to how they're going to perform.
Neither team
Vegas
has lost in overtime.
has had to go to fewer OTs. Carolina has had to go to more, and they've proven that they can hold it down in overtime. If they've had 0 OT losses,
Neither team has lost in overtime.
I just want to point
I
out
could
that
have sworn.
Logan Stankoven is averaging almost a point per game in the playoffs. He has, in 13 games played, he has 9 goals and 3 assists. That equals out to 12 with a +8.
Yeah, so as of right now, neither one of the teams have lost in overtime.
Oh, you know what? You know who I'm thinking of is Anaheim beat
Edmonton.
Edmonton in overtime.
Oh, yeah.
To where Mitch Marner has 21 points in 16 games in the
No,
playoffs right
he's
now.
fucking having a stellar
I'm telling you,
postseason.
this is the big thing, right? Because he had 80 points a season, sure, but it also at a lot of times it felt like he didn't know where his place was on this roster. And I think he has found that here. But they've also been relatively hurt all season. There's a lot of factors here. I don't know. I'm not going to go out on a limb and just say that Vegas is going to get swept. I don't think that's the case. I say Carolina wins in 6. If I'm being realistic, it goes to 6. I know what I want to happen. I want them to lose 35-0 every game and Carolina win. But I think Carolina will win this, and I think they will win in 6.
I think that's reasonable.
I think they'll win in 5.
Okay, 5. So are we all going Carolina on this?
Yeah.
Oh, we're all going Carolina on this.
Absolutely, 100%.
Carolina's winning.
Well,
but I do want to say in regular season, real quick before we switch, Carolina won 7 games in overtime. Vegas won 17 games in overtime.
I mean, yeah, but you also have to think of scenarios,
it's
right?
High pressure situations, right? So they perform better in high pressure situations, but shame on them for letting themselves get to a point where they had to perform in that, right?
Yeah.
As long as it stays out of overtime, I think that this will be a great series. If it goes to overtime, I think anyone has an opportunity to win, and it won't be one-sided.
Well, we will find out tonight.
Right.
In about an hour and 15. No, in 15 minutes, actually.
Yeah, the game starts at 8. Well, seeing as we don't really have any naughty boys or any real injuries to talk about, we are going to switch over to everyone's favorite segment, the obscure NHL Player of the Week. This week, we have a player by the name of Norm Miracle, born in 1974.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Miracle?
Norm Miracle.
Norm Miracle.
It's just a normal
what
miracle.
What a name. Did his,
it is a great name.
Did his family just like reach their hand in a bag full of Scrabble tiles and whatever fell out was it?
You know, that's maybe. I don't know.
Okay. All right, continue.
He was born October 2nd, 1974 in Belleville, Ontario. This left-handed goalie was drafted 126th overall in the 1993 NHL draft by the Detroit Red Wings. Did not have a long career. He played 66 total games in the NHL between the Atlanta Thrashers and the Detroit Red Wings, of which he played how many games? 66. So he had 14 wins, 33 losses, and he had 8 ties or overtime ties. The NHL used to be weird back in the day. Overtime ties or losses. Yeah, I think they combine them. NHL
Yeah.
was weird. He retired with a career goals against average of 3.10 and a save percentage of 0.897. He spent a good amount of time in Europe playing in Russia, Germany, and England. He retired in 2012, and there is not a lot on him after his career. He did, however, have a nice career, it looks like, in the CHL, playing with the Saskatoon Blades, where he was the 1993 second All-Star team and 1994 first All-Star team. He played in he rounded out his career in Germany with the Star Bulls Rosenheim of the second tier ice hockey Bundesliga, where he played 44 games, had 24 wins, 19 losses, had 23 wins, 21 losses. He played 45 games. I read the wrong line. And he had a goals against average of 2.56, which is better than his career average. So shout out to Norm. You're a homie.
A homie.
You're a homie. Oh, I'm so congested. I don't know why. I don't have COVID though.
That's good.
Well, to round this bitch out, we say we get the answer to the trivia question, shall we? The Stanley Cup Finals has seen sweeps, game sevens, and all sorts of different outcomes. When was the last time there was a sweep in the Stanley Cup Finals?
1987.
Good guess.
I'm going to say, you said good guess to that, so I'm thinking it's not a more modern one.
It usually is. It usually like makes us think like it's like a late 90s, like 19th century.
I'm going to say 1998. I'm going to go late 90s.
Like
1998.
2018.
Well,
yeah.
D, I would imagine, as a Capitals fan, this is one that you would know.
Yeah.
Because in 1998,
it was 1998,
the Detroit Red Wings swept the Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup Finals.
It's fine. We got ours.
You cheated.
You know, it just took us, 20 more years.
I actually wasn't sure if I wasn't sure if this was something you probably would have known.
I guess on the year. I do know that we got swept, but I didn't know
1998.
Because I was a little young at
also,
that point. TBH.
I don't know if you know this, but the Red Wings were a fucking dominant force in the 90s. In 2 years back to back, they swept. 97, they swept the Flyers. 98, they swept the Caps. 1995, they were swept by the New Jersey Devils.
Good.
Yeah. So it has been since 1998 was the last time we saw it. I know Anaheim got close when they won their Stanley Cup in 2007. They won in 5 games. Because I guess they felt bad for Ottawa.
Like, let them have one. Come on.
But yeah, it's been a long time.
Nice that they can share.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time. And this is the most recent. Who would have thought? I would have thought that it would have happened more recently.
I would have too. But then by the way you said good guess tomorrow, I was like, so it didn't.
No, it's a good guess. Do you want to know why it's a good guess? Because in 1988, the Edmonton Oilers swept the Boston Bruins.
I was going to say, I remember hearing that the Oilers did it in the 80s, and I couldn't remember.
They did do it in the 80s, yeah. And
so
then they
I
also got
swept
in the 80s. Well, you can write off the first 4 years of the 80s because that was when the fucking Islanders won 4 straight. Right. So, one of which was when the Oilers got swept in 83. As I was like, oh, that's a good one. If you had said 88, I would have been like, so a team did get swept, but no.
It's not the most recent, but it happened.
All right.
Shout
See,
out to
guys,
Scott-
even
Scott.
Google can be wrong.
No, for real. Shout out to Scotty Bowman. That was one of his 14 cup victories as a head coach. Dude is a monster. I'm sorry, he won 9 cups rather. Which is fucking ridiculous. But on that note, we want to thank all of you for being here. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let you know anytime we upload anything new. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win the Stanley Cup Finals. And while you're at it, you've had 4 years and none of you have guessed my favorite color. Anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Season's
Y'all
almost
better be
over.
in on the Canes in 4. Just saying.
I love how the only people who want the Golden Knights to win are Golden Knights
Are
fans.
losers.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah, I meant Golden Knights fans.
Right.
Well,
And I was
as
gonna
I
say,
like
season's almost over. Don't forget to get Chris's favorite color.
do it.
Time's
As I
running
like
out.
to wrap. Jesus, yeah.
I'm done. Fine.
I'm gonna speak and you're gonna be like, ah.
All right, here we go.
As I like to round out every episode, peace, love, puss sooner. And we will see you motherfuckers again next week in the face-off circle.